character. Hey guys, in today's Minecraft video, I'm going to be telling you about my characters. So, for instance, right, so we're going to start off with the main guy. He starts to start off. His name's like Vincent in his human body, but he's not actually called Vincent. He's called this like weird long star name. So we're just going to call him V. So he's like a star, pretty cool. But he's like, you know what, this is just fucking boring. I'm just sitting around in space all the time. There's nothing to do. And like, I'm eventually gonna die. And I'm not gonna have done anything. So I'm gonna go and make myself a celestial body and go down to Astrea. Astrea is my OC world. It's the Earth, more or less. So, you know, Vincent goes down to the Earth. You know, picks his name, Vincent Graves, bit of a boring name. Anyway, so, and then there's another star, like, well, a few small stars come down. This is at the point stars coming to Earth isn't really that relevant anymore because it's coming a recurring thing. And another star called who we'll call K until we reveal the name, they come down as well. And like they really like Vincent, so they hang around with him a lot. So, and then they've chosen the name Casper, pretty boring. So, basically, Casper and Vincent are attached at the hip, more or less all the time. They love each other. And then suddenly, Vincent gets really popular because they're really good at astronomy and science and stuff. So they get really popular and they've gained the name the Scientist of the Stars. Wowee. So, they've got all of that. And Casper, my boy Casper, they are jealous. Really jealous. So, to try and get the public's attention, despite the fact that Vincent doesn't even like being noticed, they're really socially anxious. They don't like people noticing them. So it's a bit weird that they're somehow really popular, despite the fact that they chose to be like that anyway. So Casper decides, oh, I'm going to make a child, like robotic child, called Melody. So we'll go child. Child's about like 0 when they make her. No biggie. No one cares except for Vincent, who's like, oh, yeah, because basically they're parents now, so they're gonna take care of this kid. Casper's really pissed off and jealous because no attention from the public, only attention from Vincent, and like, people putting all the credit on Vincent for making this child, not Casper. No one knows who Casper is, apparently. So, moving on. Casper falls asleep, naturally. Fall asleep and they have a dream. A god comes to them in a dream. Their name is Scape, god of the mindscape. How original. And they're all alright. Summary of what they said. Yo, so basically, you want something. I kind of want something too. You want to be a scientist, right? I want to get more recognition from people because no one knows who the fuck I am. They just think I'm some weirdo who lives in the mountaintops in the middle of the world. So like, if you help me, I help you. That's the deal. And he was actually gonna do this. So Casper's all like, yeah, sure, what the fuck, why not? Like, yeah, hit me up, bro. And then Escape's all like, oh yeah, cool, bro. So you've got to do 2 things for me if that's okay. And then Casper's all like, oh yeah, 2 things shouldn't be hard. So number 1, start a cult or like religion thing for me, says Escape. And Casper's like, oh, that should be easy if I get some form of like public influence. It's a bit hard for them since, funnily enough, they aren't that popular, despite being more sociable and, I don't know, less socially anxious thing he is, Vincent. Should be easy for them, like going door to door trying to convert people. Yeah, sure, whatever, why not? And this is like number 2, give me a sacrifice and like so I can like take over the world and Casper's like, yeah, sure, whatever. If it's like, you want your puppy, but like, who do you want me to sacrifice? And like, Cascade's all like, I don't give a fuck, just sacrifice who you don't like. So, days move on. Casper has created this cult. Years move on. Melody's about 7, so 7 years. So Casper has created that cult. Check off the list. Casper's created a cult, and it's like worldwide. It's like the #1 religion. Escapism is the #1 religion on top of Christianity. Christianity is second. Escapism is first in Australia. Not to be offensive, by the way. So there's that. There are a lot of escapists around. So escapism, there are like 3 levels of it. There is 1, relatively normal, occasionally goes to fucking local escapist church. No biggie. Level 2, Christian level escapist. Goes to church whenever it's once every week. Once Christian level escapist goes to church once every week, and are relatively normal about it. Have like the fucking symbol on a necklace or something. Has the holy book for him. Relatively normal. And there is the cult level escapist, aka where another one of my characters is from. Near the more African-ish areas in Australia. Yeah. So anyway, there's 3 levels of escapism: normal level, Christian level, and cult level. You don't want to be at the cult level. I'd say being between Christian and normal is okay. So Casper's done all that. Vincent's popularity just seems to be growing, and they Vincent doesn't like the popularity. They'd much prefer just to be like alone. They don't like attention basically because social anxious. They're really awkward and stuff. So, and Casper's not like that. If anything, Vincent would much prefer if they passed the popularity to Casper. Casper really hates Vincent because of this. Not because of the popularity thing. Well, passing popularity on. Casper just really hates Vincent because they're jealous of them. They're jealous because they're more popular than them. And, it makes sense because, if you want to be popular and your friends just taking all of the fucking fame from you, then, So, we've got all this, there's just one thing left on the checklist, and that's to give Escape a sacrifice, and like a vessel or something to use. Yes, sure. So, Casper has a vessel in mind. Said vessel is Vincent, obviously. But the thing is, people with, celestial bodies, people with, stars, with, the celestial body and bullshit, they can't really die, so they're just kind of stuck in agony while their body slowly regenerates from, open wounds and stuff. So, Casper doesn't know this because, they're obviously not going to become the scientist of the stars or anything, or any form of doctor, if they don't know that. Vincent knows that because they really, when they got their body, they got the body of a 19-year-old, and so did Casper and every other celestial being. So, yeah. And Vincent really liked to learn things, and they were a quick learner, so, there's whoa, this is so cool! Whoa! Casper didn't really care because, they were just trying to be nonchalant all the time, and Vincent has 0 chalant. Anyway, so, Casper has a sacrifice in mind. Not so long ago, before they were planning the day of said sacrifice, they were in a bidding thing, and there was just a really crappy lab that was being sold. So, for a $5. And Casper's like, oh yeah, I'll take it. So, they have a lab now. See, Vincent doesn't know about this because, them spending a $5 out of money could be for anything. Could be for tiny trinket, food, I don't know, snacks or something. It don't matter. So it could mean anything. And one day in the future, like after the bidding thing or whatever, Casper goes up to Vincent and he's like, "Yo, dude, I found this like abandoned lab thing, and I want to know, it's like for your research and shit, if you want to go like check it out sometime with me, so preferably like within an hour or so we can have a look around and shit." And Vincent's all like, "Oh yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, I'll go to this creepy abandoned lab with you. That sounds fucking awesome." So they're getting ready and stuff, and then they set off, and you get to the lab and shit. It's not really that far away. It's about like 25 minutes or so. So they've got to get a babysitter and stuff involved. But yeah, it doesn't take that long. So they're in the lab and they're doing all this stuff. Vincent's getting the creeps from everything because they're a bit of a pussy. So, and Casper isn't. They're trying to knock it off, and they're just going around, and they're like, "Holy shit, this is so awesome! Wow, wow, oh my god, oh, wow, wow, wow." They're pretending to be fascinated by everything that they see, and funnily enough, Vincent is catching on because, you know, over the past few years, Casper has been treating them like a Casper's been treating them like dog shit. They've been treating him like something they've stepped in, which is a very weird switch up now. And they're like, it's weird. It's weird that they've suddenly just switched up from being like, "Oh, fucking kill yourself." Don't do that. I'm just saying that. Go. They're just switching up from to fucking, "Oh yeah, let's go. Did you want to go to this place with me? Yeah, it'd be really nice." It's like talking to a dog that's like going to get fucking euthanized that day. It's like treating a dog like that. It's very weird. So Vincent's gonna find it weird, and Casper may or may not have caught on about like 10 minutes into the search. So there's like a hallway thing as well. So Casper goes down the hallway. Vincent has no idea they've gone down there until Casper's all like, "Yo, dude, I found this really cool room. Do you want to go check inside?" And then Vincent's all like, "Yeah, sure, man. Yeah." So he's like slowly walking down the hallway to go check out said room, and then fucking BAM! He's battered our head with something, probably like fucking some of that Casper's pulled out their ass or something. Probably not. Probably some of they've gone off of a random table, but whatever. Alright, so Vincent's knocked unconscious and on ground. Casper takes this opportunity, makes like a fucking sacrifice circle, ties Casper. Oh yeah, ties himself up. Yeah, ties themselves up. Yeah, sure, totally. Ties Vincent up and like puts him in the middle of the circle. Vincent currently has a gash on that side of their head because that's where they got hit. And probably a concussion as well. So Vincent wakes up at a terrible time. They've been stabbed. I'm going to try and do a representation. Let me stand up real quick. So they've been stabbed here, and potentially here. They've been stabbed in multiple areas in their body, so they can't escape. So and Casper, when they wake up, Casper is just like trotting off. They've left a bunch of stuff in a bag by the door. Maybe it's Vincent's things. Yeah, it's Vincent's things. They've taken Vincent's bag off them and just placed it next to the door, knowing damn well that he isn't getting up ever again. So may as well just. He kind of raided his. Like, my bad, fellas. Lights on. So. Sorry, that's my sister. Anyway, so Vincent Casper may or may not have gone through some of Vincent's things, stolen one or two things. So if he does manage to get to the bag, he can't wrap any bandages around him because he's taken his first aid kit. Casper's taken his first aid kit, so he just lies there for a bit, doesn't do anything, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm actually dying. So bear in mind, he's wearing this long ass coat that's easy to rip. So naturally, he rips a bit off the trench coat, whatever. He rips a bit of it off and ties it around that wound here, and then he does it again on his shirt this time because it's easier. No, it isn't. No, it doesn't do it on his shirt. It does it on the other side of his trench coat. Rips some of that off, ties it around his thigh, and this gives him a bit of time to just crawl over to the bag on the other side of the room. So, of course, he's gonna have a look in the bag, see if he's got any fabric he can tie around his waist that's long enough. That isn't his shirt, because his shirt's currently covered in blood and it's got a hole right here. It's got a hole right there, so it's not really doing shit. So he goes in his bag, he has a look, the fucking jack shit in there, so he's like, fuck it, I'll just take the bag. So he takes some bag off, enough for it to go around. It's probably the over shoulder bit, so he rips that off, wraps it around his waist, and it's not really doing anything, but it's enough to keep the blood in until he gets out, and somewhere where someone can call a doctor or something. Good thing. So let's move on to escapism. So escapism. Thing is, it was it wasn't even created that long ago actually. So it was made in 90s, not 90s, 80s. In Austria, it was created in the 80s. Because it just was. Don't ask questions. So it was made in the 80s, and the culty side of it mainly was in one of these small towns near World's Edge. Top left World's Edge at least. So it's basically top left of World's Edge. That's basically Austria's version of Africa, and it's also Austria's version of Ethiopia. So it's gonna be Ethiopian. It's gonna be Ethiopian now, right? So this is the backstory of one of my characters. So this is Elzo. He's not my character. He's one of my friend's characters. So we got Elzo. He's a part of escapism. He's got his family. There's his mum, his dad, his sister, and him. 4-person family, which you could only have it could be a man, a woman, and 2 children. The children's gender have to either be female, male, male, or male, female. Doesn't matter. You couldn't have a queer child in that cult, because if you did, then you get slimed out. So looking sacrifice for the gods, I guess. Fucking Christ. Ridiculous, am I right, fellas? Anyway, so being queer was a sin. Despite this, they didn't know that the celestial being, who was the leader of that cult, is actually just a non-binary who's incredibly queer. It doesn't make sense. So Elzo, he lives in this small town in the Austria version of Ethiopia. He lives there, no biggie. It's a small town, and everyone there is dedicated to escapism. It's like a small town where there's only 100 odd people, so everyone there is dedicated to escapism. Everyone, fucking, there's 2 priests, and that's it. And everyone knows each other, everyone's friends and shit. Someone snitch on it. You can't tell anyone anything, otherwise it gets fucking snitched on by the priest, and priest Loki slimes you out. So yeah, Elzo, half the people in this town believe Elzo is like a fucking true blood, despite him being this teenager. So, this is a really funny thing that I came up with. Every single time they have to do one of those fucking ceremonies where they fucking slit his wrist, get all the most of the blood out, like a blood fucking transfusion, even though it's not a blood transfusion, it's actually a fucking weird culty thing. They get blood out of his wrist. He's always wearing a Batman t-shirt or a Spider-Man t-shirt or a fucking Sonic t-shirt. He's always wearing a stupid t-shirt every time. But like he's always doing that because he's Elzo. Anyway, so yeah, his sister doesn't really like it. She's kind of rebellious in a way. The mom doesn't like that. Dad hates it. The sister gets beaten by parents regularly, and Elzo just tolerates it. He is the good kid because he's the true blood, so he's just gonna be good. Fuck me. So rest of the cult, everyone, he doesn't really have any friends in the cult, Elzo. So he's kind of just by himself because everyone treats him like he's fucking God's son. Just imagine walking that fucking street and someone comes up to you and like, it's a picture, you're the they treat him like he's fucking. They treat him like he's Jesus, and he's not. He's just like he's 15 and he's going down a road and he's just like flipping people off. Are you the triple? Fuck off. Anyway, so gets to after one of the ceremony things. They're at home, finished having dinner, and sisters all fucking like, this family fucking sucks. Get him. So she doesn't say that, but like she says something similar to it. So she's fucking leaving, and then I say, "What do you say to me, you little shit?" What did you say to me, you little shit? So sister gets beaten, but more severely than she usually does. And Elza's like, this is fucking wrong. What the fuck's a true blood? Elzo gained his consciousness randomly for some reason. So he's like, the fuck? What is this? I'm genuinely in a cult. What the fuck's going on? I'm not a true blood or anything. I'm just a fucking teenager. I like Batman. Why are they beating my sister because she doesn't want to be in a fucking cult? Jesus Christ. Funnily enough, there's actually, Elzo isn't saying anything right now. After he finishes saying his thing, it's like, cut to a scene, right? So, in the living room of their house, their relatively normal house, there is a rifle mounted on the wall. It's dedicated to how his what's Burr talking about? It's fucking outside, never mind. So there's like a big old rifle on the wall dedicated to Elza's great grandfather for when he killed the non-believers and then killed himself. Doesn't really make sense, does it? But the fucking family tradition, I guess. So, naturally, Elzo goes in the living room, and this guitar right here is the rifle. He goes into the living room, grabs it, walks back into the kitchen, aims at his parents, shoots them both dead. He's like, boom. He doesn't kill his sister though, because he's like a fucking feral dog. But it's okay, we love him. So kills his parents, and he's like, what the fuck was that? And his sister's all shaking on fire, fucking. What the fuck is that? So, Elsa doesn't try to clean anything up, by the way, so, he's not into that shit. Fuck you. So, he grabs his sister's hand, walks towards the door, unlocks it, and walks the fuck out. Leaves the scene. And, walking down road, no one's, like, it's basically, like, 9 p.m., and for some reason everyone, the priest gave everyone a curfew that if anyone was out at 9 p.m., they were getting killed. So, like, no one was out except Elzo, and, he's not exactly being loud while walking down the road, is he? So he's just fucking... I mean, footsteps aren't really that loud, are they? So, he's walking down the road, and, like, no one's really allowed to leave the town, but, he's not going to be in that town any longer because he doesn't have any fucking parents, and everyone's going to be wondering, where's the fuck's the True Blood gone? But, like, he doesn't really give a fuck right now. He's got, like, he's got fucking adrenaline run through his head, like, fucking Instagram reels? Fucking picture show reels, like, fucking shoot your parents in the head? Shoot your parents in the head? I just shot my parents. I just shot my parents. I just shot my parents. Fucking repeating. So, it leaves the town, it walks a few miles down the road, and then fucking boom, next town. But, like, this town's actually a relatively normal town. It's a normal Christian town. And then, like, it's 9 p.m. and there's people outside. Amanda's like, what the fuck? Why is everyone outside? Amanda's little sister, by the way. Amanda's all like, why is everyone outside? It's like, well, I thought you got fucking killed if you do that. But Elzo doesn't give a fuck. And then someone like spot this woman. She spots him and she's like, oh, you guys are alright. Do you need somewhere to stay for a night? And she's got this like American accent for some reason in Ethiopia. She's saying it in Ethiopian, by the way, in an American accent. Like, how are you doing that, mate? Whatever. So she says that to these kids, and like, Elza's like, yeah, sure, what the fuck, why not? I don't have enough money in my bank. I don't have enough pocket money to pay for a motel. So, the American woman takes him in, and, she moves over to the UK. Fucking UK. No. She moves over to the Middle Island in Astria. There's this little town there called Emberdale, and they move there. Relatively normal town. It's a very queer-friendly town, in fact. And, everyone's really nice there. So, not too long after moving, they'll they make Elzo and Amanda learn English, then, send them off to school, of course. And then I'm gonna discuss the main character, Charles, first. So, Charles, he's not got that much to him. His mum died of cancer when he was 14, and like his dad didn't die of anything when he was 14. It was like when his mum died. About like a few days after, he just decided, I'm not taking care of this fucking kid by myself. Made him pack all his shit and dropped him off at his grandparents' house and like, made them take care of him. Grandparents didn't really mind though because he was actually a really nice kid if you think about it. So, we've got Charles. He's living with his grandparents' house, and when he turns 17, he decides, oh, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm moving out and living with my friend Stan. So, Stan and... It is currently 2012. Stan and Charles are currently in an abandoned building recording a YouTube video so they can get money. Of course they are. So, they're doing that, and then fucking boom! Charles gets a phone call. Hello? You don't say it like that, but whatever. Hello? Hi, so, this isn't what he says either. Hi, this is, right, so, this is Casper on the phone, by the way. Hi, I've got a few things I need to ask of you, so what I'm gonna need you to do is I'm gonna need you to come to this address in 4 days. So, and if you're not there, then, like, tough shit, I'm just gonna pull up to your house, because I know where you live. So, come to this address, I've got a few things that I'd like you to do for me, so, yeah. Address. The address is Sunnyfield Labs. That's where the OC things, by the way. See anything? Anyway, so, Charles is like, what the fuck? Who's this loser? Why are they calling me? So, Yeah, Charles is basically me at this point. So Charles, they upload the video on YouTube, and then like 4 days passes, and they go up to this fucking like big ass lab, and Casper's all like, "Yo, what's up, my fellow Americans? So I've got a few quests for you guys. Yeah, you like quests? Like in the video games, like Deltarune and Final Fantasy. Yeah. You like quests? So yeah, sure. So I've got a few things that I'd like you to do. So you gotta do this, and this. You basically gotta piss off the god of. You've gotta piss off the god of the Mindscape, kill him, find Vincent, and get me that vessel back. Good luck." Basically, what they didn't specify what order to do any of these questions. So naturally, right. So I've got to tell you this right now. It isn't just Charles that's there. Elzo's there. It's a bunch of characters I'm about to name. I'm going to discuss them later. Trust me. Spencer's there. Francis is there. Oscar's there. They're all here. You know who Elzo is. Charles is also there. And he's like, do I really have to drive these kids around? Or them fucking Oscar's in fucking Connor. Like, Elzo's in Connor. Because, God at Mindscape, aka fucking God who they tried sacrificing to a year ago. Spencer's like, he don't fucking know what's going on because he's been living under a rock for the past 10 years. Francis don't give a fuck either. She's just fucking. Right, so first thing they all do, they find Vincent, and he's all he lives in the shack right now, and he's really happy that everyone thinks he's dead because like he didn't really like being famous when he was famous, if I didn't mention. So he's like really happy that they've just everyone thinks he's dead. So when he's got like fucking 10 knocks on his door, he's like shitting himself. So he's opening the door and he's like, yes. And then he just sees this bunch of teenagers and they're like, what's that bunch of teenagers at my door? Hi guys. Do you want a cup of tea or something? Hi, so like, did you know this guy called Dr. Moonlight or something? Yeah, this is what Charles says. Yeah, we called Moonlight, yeah. Do you know who they are? And fucking Vincent's face fucking drops to his balls. He's like, yeah, I know why. And like, Charles is like, oh yeah, it's cool, cause it kind of sent me and a bunch of other teenagers to go look for you. It's like a bit weird. So I was like, aren't you that like scientist guy from a few years ago that died? And then Vincent's like, oh yeah, why? He's like a fucking scared deer. He's just stood there and he's all fucking frozen. And Charles is like, oh yeah, cool. So I'm gonna need you to come with us or something. Like Vincent's not really like, he doesn't want to, but this random guy who's come to his door is being like relatively calm. Charles is all like, I don't really give a fuck if you come with me. Just like, it might be helpful. I really want to get paid for. I don't get paid enough for this shit anyway. So like, Vincent complies and he goes with. Yep. So currently, Vincent is in the boot, which is a bit weird because it seems like a kidnapping. So gets brought back to the Sunnyfield lab place, and Casper's like, and Vincent's like, Vincent, bear in mind, is currently shitting himself. He's scared shitless. He thinks Casper's gonna go run up to him. Fucking yeah! He thinks he's gonna get belted in head with another bat and stabbed. But Casper's all like, they really missed their partner and they just want to run up to him and fucking hook him. And fucking Vincent's scared that they're gonna get bashed around head again, like, bah. So next one, when it like. Oh yeah, it was get the vessel back. So theoretically, they've actually completed 2 because theoretically they've completed 2 tasks because Vincent number 1 was the vessel, and number 2, the last one was find Vincent. and theoretically they've done both of them because it was like get me that vessel and find Vincent. So, 2. They've only got 2 more left. Piss off the god of the Mindscape. Not too big. Not too big of a deal. Yeah, sure, yeah, I'll go piss off the god of the Mindscape. Yeah, no, I'll just go risk my own life. I'm only a 17-year-old. Yeah, sure, yeah. I'm only a 17-year-old with a 14-year-old, two 16-year-olds, and a 15-year-old. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I'll just get a group of teenagers to go piss off the god of the Mindscape. Yeah, sure. And Vincent's all like, oh, guys, don't do that yet. You've got to wait for us to come with you, okay? And, like, everyone else is like, sure, yeah, sure. What do you want, man? I've got, like, 5 pencils in my pocket that I can go stab this bastard with. Stereotypical British high school, yeah, sure. And he's like, wait, no, I've got these gifts for you. I brought these gifts for him there up in my... I've got these gifts for you, right? So, like, it just gives all these kids, like, powers, and, like, holy shit, this is awesome. I don't even know you. But yeah, keep giving me these gifts, man. So, they're all like, they've all got the fucking superpowers now because this random celestial being's just taking a liking to them and just like, you know what? I don't need superpowers, bear with me. Just random gods, oh fucking god, random celestial beings just thought, these kids are actually pretty decent. Even though they'd only spoken to like one. So, it's basically just this big ass quest. They're all driving in Charles' car while the fucking AC/DC and McCavity is blasting through fucking Mike. And, suddenly, gonna get slimed after that. Fucking bang on roof. It's not hail or anything. There's like, this, rocks, these size rocks falling on the roof. Bear in mind that they are kind of like 30 minutes away from the mountain where the god of the Mindscape lives. So, like, this should be pretty normal, except the rocks that usually fall are about like this big, maybe smaller. But like, no, there's fucking actual big ass rocks falling on a roof, and it might like actually break roof or something, and everyone might be in danger. And it's like, the guys, we're gonna keep you guys just chill the fuck out. We're gonna get there at some point. Then fucking Casper and Vincent are nowhere in sight, and I'm pretty sure Charles said to Vincent that he was going to pull up at some point in case things got bad, because he just knows that. Because he just knows. So right, they just keep driving. There's just nothing's wrong. They're just gonna keep driving, right? So, keep driving. No biggie. Just big ass rocks falling on the roof, right? Nothing's gonna happen. And then, suddenly the rocks just start fucking hammering against the roof. It's not just 1, 2, occasionally a third. It's fucking they're just like falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like, Christ. It's like rain hammering against a window. So, like, it just drives faster. It just gets quicker. It just gets quicker and quicker. And the fucking rock comes through the roof. And what the fuck? So, naturally, drives quicker, more rocks falling off the fucking roof, and, bear in mind, this guy hasn't even given a second thought to, maybe I should start driving slower, but no, he's not doing that, is he? He's just driving, and suddenly he just, like, stops, and there are no rocks falling on the roof. He gets out of his car, looks up, God, Mindscape has been following them, hovering above the car, dropping rocks on them. This numpty! This is the car. This is how far the god was. And they were dropping rocks on the car. This god was rage baiting them, bro. So, fucking battle starts in middle of the highway, no biggie. Pretty sure fucking god at Mindscape was raging them, but okay. I'm not explaining the last bit. I've got to explain everyone else's backstory. So there's Frances. She was born in Ireland and like stuff. So yeah, she was born in Ireland, no biggie. Dad like owned this engagement ring company, and he sold engagement rings like Heather McNamara's dad. So yeah, Mum didn't really give a fuck about her. She had a twin brother, but like, and when she was about like 12, she found out she was transgender. Bad idea. She told her mum, and she was like, I don't give a fuck. And then Dad was like, get out of my house. Get the fuck out. So, she leaves. She gets like a fucking shitty bag, puts some of her things in it, and then leaves. So there is this teenage transgender girl walking down the road, going to her Nanan's house, Nanan's auntie's house, whom lives 2 miles away. Sad. So she gets there. Auntie lets her in, and she's like, "Oh, what's happened, sugar?" What was that? I don't mind. I got kicked out. It's okay, sugar. So now she's living with your auntie, and then the events occur again. With the Casper thing, he's like, "Yo, come to this address, or I'm gonna bomb you." I don't think they should go to that address, man. It's just like, "Yo, come to this address, cuh." So like, yeah. I already explained that train of events. Oscar, he is like, he's actually, Ireland doesn't exist in Astria. It's just a tiny island off to where the middle island is. That's where Francis used to live anyway. So Oscar, he lives near Emberdale, which is a small town near the edge of the middle town. Middle island. It's no biggie. So, Oscar, he doesn't have a mum. He just lives with his dad, who's really suicidal. No biggie. Yep. So, yep. He goes to school with Elzo and Spencer. And like one time, his uncle tried doing something really bad to him because, like, transgenderness. He too is a trans male. Yeah. So should have made a warning for that. Whatever. Same events happen. Oscar, Elzo, and Spencer like go to the thing together because they're bestie boos. Spencer, he was created because his mom decided to hook up with a random person when she were like living in the Astria version of the Astria version of Spain. So when she got pregnant, she came back to the middle island, lived, and Spencer grew up there, despite being like Spanish or whatever. And it was like, oh, why the fuck? Where's my dad, mom? And then she's like, dead. And I was like, ah! Because he's like 6 when he asked. And then, he kind of somehow finds out that it was a mistake, but he's so nonchalant that he didn't cry about it. Negative nonchalance. Elzo was the nonchalant one. And at some point during all this, when he's like 13, finds out that he's a homosexual. He's gay. He tells his mom, and his mom doesn't really give a fuck. So actual win for him. Yeah. So school starts. Becomes friends with Oscar. Goes up to year 10. Yeah, year 10. Oscar's like a year ahead of him because he's 16. And then all of a sudden, boom, Elzo joins. This random guy from a completely different Astria island. Who the fuck is this? Everyone's all freaking out like, it's the Spanish guy fucking Spawnism. It's the escapist guy. Oh my god. And then Elzo just pulls up to school in a fucking Sonic shirt. Like, yeah, just level 100 nonchalance over here, level 100 toughness. Anyway, so he pulls up to school like that, and Spencer immediately loves him. Yeah. And then as days go on, Elzo realizes, holy shit, I have a crush on Spencer, and he's like, and then he goes into fucking bathrooms. I don't like Spencer. I don't like Spencer. He's having a mental breakdown because he likes boys, and then he finds out he's bisexual. And then in the middle, so you know the war, you know the battle against Scape. That's called the Battle of the Mind, and I've had that name planned out for a good while. For the past 2 years, I've been planning the story. It's been in my head. And I finally planned out what's happening in the middle. And during the Battle of the Mind, Elzo confesses his love for Spencer in the most dramatic way possible. Like, why can't gay people just, like, confess normally? Why do they have to do crazy shit like this? Like, in the middle of a war. Just like, Spencer, yeah, man. I kind of like you romantically. What? Crazy work. So that's all I have to say until I have more. I just realized I've been talking about my characters for like more or less an hour. So Toodles, don't kill your parents if you're in a cult. Or tell the internet. Get on AO3 and tell the internet that you're in a cult. Okay, bye.